Hello everybody and welcome to day 6 of my Juicy Juice Fest. Just got a 2-hour massage this morning, super exciting. I'm doing this live on YouTube now as well because some people are not able to get on Instagram or Facebook, so I'm hitting all platforms, so YouTube. Today, as promised, I'm going to show you how to open a coconut, one of these young coconuts. The prices have actually gone up, they're like $6 now, so the only reason I bought it is because I wanted to show you guys how to make, to open a coconut. I'm only going to be using the juice, not the meat, so I'll probably freeze the coconut meat to use at a later date for when I'm not fasting. And so I thought I'd show you that trick, and then I'm going to show you how to use some blue Magik, which is the blue from the blue-green algae. This company is called E3 Live, and I'm going to show you how to make a fun little drink of your own. And I'm also going to show you how to use the so I don't do a lot of sugar, as you guys know. Whoever follows me knows that I'm keto. So this kefir I already made before, and it's been in my outdoor garage fridge. And so I'm going to use this in my drink today, along with a little fresh coconut water, just to give it a little bit of sweetness, but I don't want the whole coconut because that's a pretty high glycemic load, lots of sugar. And even though I'm fasting and my body seems to use up glucose pretty quickly, I'm still like keeping an eye on how much sweet stuff I'm putting in. So you can either use the whole coconut water, or you can make your own kefir and use in a couple days. So I'll talk you through all this. Okay, so anyway, the first thing we want to do is, this is a crappy knife. I wouldn't use this. So this knife originally costs, I think it's $110, but I broke the tip off. So this is like my backup knife that I don't use very often, or I use for things that I don't care about, or I let other people borrow it or whatever. Or you could use a cleaver, like just a $10 cleaver you can buy at like an Asian market. You want to lay your coconut on the side, and I do have a video on this somewhere on YouTube on how to open your own coconut, so you can watch that one as well. But you're just going to lay it on its side, and I call it creating a monk's head, a bald monk's head. So you're just going to, and the knife needs to be fairly sharp. If you have an old kitchen knife, you're probably going to be struggling. This, even though this knife is old and I consider it a backup knife, it's probably 80% sharper than any other knife that most people have in their kitchens. Since I'm a chef and since I have a culinary school, I really tell people you need to have a good knife. Find a knife that works for you, that feels good in your hands. These are Mac knives. We sell them on purejoyplanet.com. I love them. There's my plug for the day. Okay, back of the knife. Scrape away the fiber. We don't need that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use that back corner of your knife. And if you have a cleaver, it's the same thing. And you're just going to give the bald head, not the white fibery part, but can you guys see that? There's like a bald head, little monk's head. And you're going to give it a whack. And you might have to give it a couple whacks just to get that back corner of the knife in there. There we go. So can you hear that? It went clunk. And then once I got it in, I'm going to push the front part of my knife towards the cutting board and pull up with my hands. So it's like choot, choot, choot. So then the little bald monk's head comes off. And all this yummy coconut meat in here you can scrape off. I know it's tempting if you're fasting to eat it, but don't eat it. Put it in a Ziploc, put it in the freezer, and then you could use it in a dessert or a pudding when you break your fast, which I will be covering at some point when I break my fast. Today's day 6, and I don't know how long I'm going to go. I feel actually amazing. Like I said, I just got a 2-hour massage, so that doesn't hurt. But I didn't know how long I was going to go, and I know I'm going at least a week, which is all the way through tomorrow, but I have a feeling it's going to be 2 weeks, or it could be a month, or it could be 2 months, or it could be 3 months. The longest I've ever gone fasting is 3 months on a juice fast. So we'll just see what happens. I'm feeling really good. So as long as I'm feeling good, I'm going to keep going. Okay, so we're going to be using my glass blender today, my Oster blender. Oops, the cord isn't very long. Let me see. So I guess you guys can see that from there. So we're going to be using the glass blender today. And I'm going to use, okay, so I'm going to say this in a way that's super easy and clear for you to understand. I'm going to use the kefir that I already made. I'm going to be putting in, and this has a lot of probiotics in it. So if you're new to this, you don't want to like guzzle kefir because your gut will blow up and it won't be bad, but you could have die-off. Like if you have yeast or candida, the good bacteria will go in and kind of like try and take over, and that's good. But the bad bacteria is going to like fight. So as with anything, when you're new to a probiotic, start slow. If you're new to kefir, start with like literally that much and have it on an empty stomach. So when you're fasting, it's great because you're always on an empty stomach. So I'm going to use a little more because I'm a pro. And I'm going to leave about that much kefir. Actually, I'm not going to use, I'm going to save this jar. That's just old kefir because I want it to be super clear so you guys get it. I'm going to use a new jar, and I just use black Sharpies to write kefir on the jar or whatever, like juice. And you just use a green scrubby, and this, when you're washing it, and that writing will just scrub right off. I'm going to write kefir number 1 because this is a first batch. It's a fresh batch. Sometimes if you were to take this and use this as your kefir starter, kind of like sourdough starter, this would be kefir number 2 if you put more coconut water in there because you've done it a second time. So that's for another lesson. I teach that on the Culinary Academy, purejoyplanet.com. Click on courses, whole course on fermenting, making cheeses, making yogurt, making kefir. This is a freebie today. So next thing we're going to do is we are going to take this coconut water and we are going to pour it in the jar, and this is how we're going to make our kefir. But I'm not going to pour it all in the jar. I'm going to give myself some just because I want a little bit of that in my drink today. And then that's not very much. Some of these coconuts yield more than others. A lot of times you can get up to 2 cups. When you're buying a coconut, you want to check the bottom. Now they're putting stickers on it. You want to check to see if there's any pink mold. I kind of peeked and I didn't see any pink or black mold. And then I was looking for like a heavy one because I figured the heavier it is, the more water. But it's like the luck of the draw. If it's pink at all, throw it away. Unfortunately, you can take it back to places like Whole Foods and they'll probably give you a new one. And then I'm using Donna Gates's kefir starter. You can also use, if you have your own probiotics, you know, like Ultimate Flora or whatever, you can use that. But I had bought this. It's Body Ecology Kefir Starter. I bought it at Whole Foods in the refrigerator section. I'm just going to use the whole packet in here. And that's all you do. It's so easy. It's crazy. Coconut water. And you need the sugar from the coconut water. So if anybody's like, can I make water kefir from this? No, you need some sugar in there. And sugar in the form of coconut water is just fine. I could blend that, but I don't have to. And then I want to put, I usually like to use a lid that has a seal. See how that has a little bit of rubber in it? I saved it from something else. But you could use one of the mason jar seals. That's going to go in a warm place. So like on your dehydrator while it's running on top of it. About 80 degrees, 70 to 80. You could use a heating pad or just somewhere warm in your house next to a motor or something that gets a little warm. And then that's going to be ready. Don't put it on your modem because that's going to have EMFs. So that's going to be ready in like 2 days, maybe. And I'll check if I'm still fasting. I'll show you guys as we go, and it'll get bubbly. It should taste. So I tasted this one. It has no sweetness left. It eats up all the sugar, and so all that good bacteria is growing exponentially. It's a really cheap way to get probiotics in your body. Now that I've got this in here, I could add a little anything else. I have some aloe vera, pure organic aloe in a bottle that I got. They just juice it. It says organic and fresh. So I could put a splash in there just for fun. I mean, you can put whatever you want in this. And then the blue-green algae is super blue. It's like the bluest of the blue. And I love this stuff because I love the color. It doesn't really taste like much. It's kind of similar. Oh, it's already got a scoop in it. It's kind of similar to spirulina, except for it's not green. But it doesn't have the cheesy taste that spirulina has. So I'm going to put one. Actually, I'm going to give myself 2 scoops of that today because I'm fasting and I want some nutrition. Like, so when you're fasting, it doesn't mean you can't have nutrition. Like, unless you're doing a water fast. But juice fast, I also include things like coconut kefir, coconut water, the algae. I'll take vitamin mineral green, which is a green powder with all the grass powders. They juice the grasses. So this is basically like dehydrated juice. And I'll use a tablespoon of that in water if I'm just in a mood to grab and go and I don't have time to make a juice. So there's a lot of shortcuts for juice fasts. You don't have, there's no, and I said this on like day 1 that I did a video, there's no one right way to do a juice fast. And don't let anybody tell you, well, that's not a fast. Like your fast is your fast. If you're feeling healthy, if you're feeling better, if you're feeling good, then that's your fast. And you're allowed to do whatever you want. It's your body, your life. You choose the fast. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. And now we're going to blend, and this is my favorite part. Blend. Okay, a little, I'm going to pulse it. Because I don't think I need to go very long because it doesn't take much to blend that. And also when you have probiotics, if you were to turn the Vitamix on, that's why I'm using the Oster today because it's a lot less power. If you were to turn the Vitamix on and just let it run, you're going to kill a lot of those probiotics. So remember that when you're using kefir and yogurt, not to overblend. And then I have this beautiful heart-shaped teacup that Caitlin gave me. You can't really see the heart, but trust me, there's a heart. And I'm sure it's going to be delicious. Oh my gosh. It tastes a little blue. I mean, and not the good kind of blue. It tastes like algae. But if I were to put a little stevia in this, which I tend to do on fasts as well, I mean, especially at the beginning, you want a treat. So why punish yourself, you know? I don't believe in suffering when you're on a fast because I think you're going to quit. And if you're around a lot of like really good smelling foods and going to restaurants and whatnot, in the first week, you're going to be tempted. So I just put a few drops in there and put a few drops in that one. So do what you need to do. I mean, a little liquid stevia isn't going to make or break your fast. You're still on a fast. You're still cleansing out your body. You're still dropping weight. You're still like getting. So I've already noticed in the 6 days, today's day, halfway through day 6 today, my skin's getting tighter. My eyes are getting more sparkly. My belly's completely flat. I've lost, since Monday when I started, I've lost 7 pounds. So I know some of that's water weight, but I'm going to keep going. And I am noticing that fat around my belly is pretty much shrunk off, gone down. So there's a lot of benefits to fasting. And I guess the reason I'm saying all this is because sometimes people get on there and go, well, that's not a true fast. And I'm just saying this is the fast that I'm doing. You guys can do whatever you want to do. All right. So it's nice and foamy on the top. It's almost like a cappuccino. That's way better. A little stevia does the trick. All right, so tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. Tomorrow's day 7 for me. I'm going to come up with a new recipe for you guys and talk about how I'm feeling on day 7. I'm getting ready to go out on a walk today. I'm feeling super energized, super good, no caffeine. I'm just on, I haven't even had hot tea, just water and juices and now Kefir, which I'm gonna love. So I hope you guys start. A few people have been messaging me that they've been seeing these videos and they're inspired to start a juice fast. So I hope these videos can be a training for you. For you guys on YouTube, I am going to post my day. I started on day 2 with videotaping, so day 2, 3, and 4 on YouTube, so you can go back and watch those. And if you're on Facebook, you can check out the YouTube channel is Pure Joy Planet. Just type that in on YouTube. And follow, subscribe, thumbs up. Thank you guys so much. I love being here with you guys. I love seeing all your comments. I get a lot of private messages. So keep the messaging up. I hope you're inspired. Did you notice I'm wearing the blue to match the blue? Anyway, love you, love you, love you. Thank you. See you soon. Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 6 of my Juicy Juice Fast. Just got a 2-hour massage this morning, super exciting. I'm doing this live on YouTube.